Yo, what's going on guys, it's Tom and welcome back to a brand new video, and this is the first episode of Schumacher Returns, and we're here for the first episode of the season. But before we jump into anything, I just want to quickly walk you through what you're going to be seeing through the entire season. Now this is the overlay or the HUD that I'm going to be running for the forthcoming season and for this career mode, so I'm going to quickly explain some of the elements to you guys who may not know what is going on screen right now. So first of all, as you can see in the top left hand corner of your screen, we've got the position and the laps. Those two are pretty self-explanatory. Then just below that we've got the top 10 grid order, so you probably understand that there's the time differentials between each driver. And then just next to that on the right hand side, if you look at it closely, there is my fuel map. So that just basically tells me how much fuel I've got left in the car, so I know how to manage my fuel and how it will all work. Moving over to the right hand side of the screen, as you can see, looking on the far right, you got the car monitor, the car status, which tells you what temperature the tyres are at and how much wear they've got, and also the engine as well. Just next to it on the left hand side there is a little gauge that tells you what the track conditions are like with the rain and what the track's like, temperature, the wind and all that sort of stuff. And then finally right on the left next to it is the sector splits, and on there you basically get the best sector splits by any driver. So for example, as you can see there, Montoya set the fastest 2 sectors and then Clean set the fastest final one. So those are basically some relatives that I can take into account when I'm setting my lap time. And finally we've got in the bottom left the track map, and then on the far right hand side of your screen we've got the dash or the rev meter, which everyone knows how it works. But yeah guys, I wanted to clear it up so we don't get no questions in the comments. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the first episode of Schumacher Returns.
The 2005 season is well underway, and the Friday practice is the first time that we're able to see the cars since testing. With the initial signs looking promising, they show that 2005 could be a very interesting season due to the new rule changes. Defending champions Ferrari seem to be up against it, as they've realised in pre-season testing that they were off the pace due to the new regulations. The new Bridgestone tyres didn't seem to be that competitive, and this means that Ferrari, along with Minardi and Jordan, are all struggling to get to grip on the 2005 spec Bridgestones. Friday showed that Ferrari had improved, even though they are still off the pace, and fear that qualifying may be a weakness for them until the 2005 package and tyres are improved. BAR Honda seemed to have a very solid package that could challenge this season after a very impressive run-in pre-season and the Friday afternoon sessions. Both Button and Sato feel very optimistic with their 2005 Challenger, which unlike Ferrari is on the Michelin tyres for this season. A quick word on Renault, who have really been a growing threat ever since 2002 when they re-entered Formula 1, and this year could be their year. The young Fernando Alonso pairs up alongside Giancarlo Fisichella, and if pre-season testing is anything to go by, Renault have a very fast and crucially reliable package. There's an all-changed lineup at Williams, as Mark Webber and Nick Heidfeld replace Juan Pablo Montoya and Ralf Schumacher for 2005. Williams are very optimistic about their 2005 Challenger and feel that they can finally make a step back towards the big time and are hungry for success. McLaren seem to be the team to beat this year. They have an outstanding car that is very pacey, however they have encountered massive reliability issues which they hope to iron out in the first couple of races this season. Moreover, they arguably have the strongest lineup on the grid this season, with Kimi Raikkonen now being partnered with new teammate Juan Pablo Montoya. Sauber have maintained Felipe Massa for the 2005 season and have signed 1997 world champion Jacques Villeneuve, with the hope that the Swiss outfit can improve and move further up the grid with a package powered by Ferrari and being on the popular Michelin tyres. Rebel Racing are the new team on the grid for 2005, being formerly known as Jaguar in 2004, who have taken over at Milton Keynes and, thanks to some strong financial backing, hope to move up the grid with their drivers Christian Clean and new signing David Coulthard. Toyota are now in their 4th season in Formula 1 and are confident of making their way up the grid this season. After an impressive pre-season, new drivers Jarno Trulli and Ralf Schumacher are very confident for the upcoming season, and they think that they could challenge for podiums and maybe even race wins. Finally, the two remaining Bridgestone runners of Jordan and Minardi, who struggled in 2004, will be hoping to improve this season. Jordan have an all-new lineup with Thiago Monteiro and Narain Kartikeyan, along with the Toyota power in the back of the EJ15. Minardi have also signed 2 new drivers, Patrick Freisacker and Christian Albers. However, they have admitted that they do have big financial struggles and that their car for the first race of the season will be the 2004 car updated to the 2005 specifications. However, they are hoping that their new car should be ready for Malaysia.
Yo, what's going on guys, it's Tom and welcome back to a brand new video, and this is episode number 1 of Schumacher Returns, and we're here for the Australian Grand Prix. And right now we are in qualifying. I'm trying to think of the ideal way of trying to set up this the format of the videos, so to speak, so you guys let me know in the comments down below if you've got any decent ideas. But right now we are in qualifying, as you can see, and Marco is going to get underway for his one and only qualifying lap, because the way I've set up and structured this series, if you look at the top of the screen there, you can see the laps. Michael's only got one time lap, so essentially an out lap, time lap, and then an in lap. So Michael's got to make this one and only lap count, as do the rest of the AI. That is going to be the format for qualifying. So qualifying is going to be fairly quick this season. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the entire qualifying lap in the video for you guys to see, but right now, like, trying to focus on the action a little bit. As you can see, going to the first sector right now, Michael is currently 9/10 down on Juan Pablo Montoya into the first sector, so Michael's got a lot of recovering to do. But obviously, if you guys listened to the little prequel before this, then Ferrari are a bit weak in qualifying this season, so it's definitely not the strong point, and they're hoping to do the damage in the race. So qualifying this season is very much about damage limitation, because there's a problem with the Bridgestone tyres where they just can't seem to get a temperature into the hards in just one like warm-up lap, and they need a couple of laps, where in the race, obviously, because there's so many more laps, they can actually get some heat into the tyre and make it work. But as you can see, Miles actually managed to claw it back a little bit in the second sector. He's only 8/10 down now, so he's actually set the fastest middle sector, and right now Michael could be able to claw it back in the final sector here. Could he possibly get his car right up the sharp end, because obviously this 2005 car is a pretty poor car, and Michael does need to improve it throughout the season. But here we go then, into the final couple of corners. He's got a couple of cars ahead of him that shouldn't bother him on the end of his lap as he goes through the final corner, trying to get onto the power, trying to find a little bit of speed, and here he goes through the gears across the start finish line. And what lap time is Michael setting? It's a 1:27.8, and that is a full second behind Juan Pablo Montoya, and that puts him in P3, which isn't too bad. So if Michael just had a better first sector, then maybe the thing could have been different. But as you can see, looking at the final qualifying results, Mark actually dropped down all the way to 8th place, and Montoya actually remained in pole position. So even though Michael was said at the time, he really did drop down the order there, and people did really improve their lap times, and a couple of shocks way down the bottom there with Michael's teammate Barrichello down in 15th without a second lap time, as did Fernando Alonso, and also Kimi Raikkonen and Ralf Schumacher both getting disqualified. So a bit of an interesting one there. I think Raikkonen and Schumacher got disqualified for exceeding the maximum amount of laps, which I think they did 4 laps. But either way, let's move into the race and let's jump into the Australian Grand Prix. So here we are then, it is race day at the Australian Grand Prix, and this is the first race of the 2005 season, and I personally cannot wait to get underway as we gear up to 5 red lights for the first time in the 2005 Formula 1 season, and the Australian Grand Prix is underway, and so far so good for Michael Schumacher as he gets off the line, trying to get through the gears as he makes his way into turn number 1, now going up the inside of Mark Webber, up the inside of the first corner, now going to take it nice and easy, a little bit of contact on the outside there, both Williams coming together, and also a bit after Jenson Button, who's also sideways there through turn number 2, as we make going to turn number 3 now. Michael's got a really good run on Giancarlo Fisichella. Can he make a move up the inside of turn number 3? Yes, he does. He makes a move, and a lovely overtake there from Michael Schumacher. He's really got himself up in the 4th place, and a hectic start to this Australian Grand Prix already straight off the bat as we go on to the end of lap number 1. And as you can see, Michael Schumacher is now on the back of Toyota, I believe, which is Jarno Trulli, and also the other BAR of Takuma Sato. And here we go down the pit straight. Michael Schumacher's had a really good exit out of the final corner, and he's going to use the slipstream to get past Jarno Trulli way before turn number 1. And he's now on the back of Takuma Sato. Can he possibly get past him anytime soon? And it looks like it's not going to happen in turn 1, so you have to happen later on this lap as we skip later on to the midway through lap number 2, onto the back straight now. Michael Schumacher's got a really good run onto Takuma Sato. Can he go to the outside? Oh no, Sato squeezed him into the wall there, and no room for Michael Schumacher to make the move on the Japanese driver, so he's got to back out of that one for the time being. Michael Schumacher can make the move now, coming out of the fast chicane as we go down the back straight. Michael Schumacher's getting right into the slipstream off Takuma Sato, and he's going to go up the inside of turn number 14. There's a lovely move there from Michael Schumacher, nice and late on the brakes, and he makes a simple textbook move up the inside of Takuma Sato as we skip later on in the race. And as you can see, Michael has caught up to the race leader, Juan Pablo Montoya, and as you can see right now, going to the back straight, Michael's going to have a look up the inside of the Colombian driver, but Montoya just closes his door in there, and there's no way through there just for the time being. But so far the Ferrari, like we said in practice, and Lars said in the news that the Ferrari so far in qualifying was really weak, but in the race he had much better pace because he could keep his tyres much more up to temperature and warm them up much faster, and you really noticed the difference and the benefit of the Bridgestone tyre, and that is clearly showing right now as Michael Schumacher is all over the back of Montoya. He makes a move around the outside of turn number 16, I believe, and the Bridgestones are really starting to work on this Ferrari, and overall the package is really starting to work. But now skipping later on turn number 5, as you can see, Montoya is coming back on Michael Schumacher, and he's actually made the the move stick, but he's squeezing Schumacher onto the grass. There's contact between the two of them, and lucky enough, none of them lose any of their body parts, and there's no big crash, and they can continue on unscathed. But bit of a Larry moment there for the pair of them, especially Montoya, squeeze Schumacher right onto the grass. But later on that lap, Michael Schumacher's going to make a move up the inside of Montoya. They bang side pods, but Michael Schumacher manages to prevail and come out on top in that little battle. And right now, it's definitely Michael Schumacher versus Juan Pablo Montoya this race, because these two are some really fierce rivals. As Michael Schumacher loses the rear end, he's lost the rear end, and he's actually got a nice cushion over Montoya, so that shouldn't affect his lead too badly. But later on that lap, going into the start, lap number 11, Michael Schumacher actually had Montoya all over the back of him. Just looking at a replay here real quick, as you can see, Michael just completely lost it on the curb, and even the traction control couldn't save him from spinning the car there. And there's Montoya just behind, as you can see, and like I mentioned, there's Montoya now going to the start at number 11. He's right on the gearbox of Michael Schumacher, and is he going to look to make a move up the inside of turn number 1? Maybe he pulls to the inside. Is he going to make the move stick? Yes, he does, just about. He's still there. He's going to squeeze Michael Schumacher and try to take the racing line. He does make the move stick there, and now Michael's coming back at Montoya around the outside, side by side into number 3, but Montoya squeezing Schumacher right onto the grass, you could say, and a really dirty move there from Montoya, really not giving Schumacher any room whatsoever, as we skip later on to the end of lap number 11 out of this 20 lap race here at Albert Park. And Michael Schumacher is right on the gearbox once again of Montoya. He goes to the outside. Can he make a move stick? Montoya's going to squeeze him a bit onto the grass, but Michael's going to make the move anyway, and a fantastic overtake there from Michael Schumacher, but he actually runs really wide, which allows Montoya straight back through, which is unfortunate. So a really good battle between these two, an absolutely ding-dong battle way back from ever since 2001 when Montoya came into Formula 1. During all these years, they've always been fierce rivals, and they've had great battles over the years, and this is no exception. As you can see, as Michael Schumacher is now lined up Montoya for another move up the inside of turn 14. He does make his stick, runs in a bit deep onto the AstroTurf, but this time manages to make the move stick and stay ahead of the Colombian. And skipping later on turn number 15, Michael Schumacher has actually got a bit of traffic in the form of Narain Kartikainen, I believe it is, but he actually cost him a little bit of time, but Michael did manage to get away unscathed there. And skipping later on lap 17, with only about 4 laps to go now, Montoya once again puts his car up the inside, but this time Michael Schumacher manages to defend, but he hits the curb, and he goes around once again for the second time this race, and the Jordan almost spun off with him there. So Michael Schumacher said his second spin of the race, and this could be a killer blow for the race, because Michael was in the lead, but that might mean that he might actually miss out on some really good points because of that, because there are only 3 laps to go after this. But Michael was determined to try and fight back, try and recover, and try and do some damage limitation, and it's exactly what he's planning to do. And as you can see, he's in the back of Fernando Alonso as we go into turn number 14. Is he going to make him up the inside? Yes, he does. A simple move there on the young Spaniard, and it's a very nice overtake there from Michael Schumacher. And he's now in the back of Jenson Button and Nick Heidfeld, I believe. And here goes Michael, who's going to switch back on Jenson Button, put off a lovely move up the inside off the penultimate corner. And so far, Michael's making light work of these cars and trying not to lose any time whatsoever to try and catch up to those up the sharp end of the grid, because they're not that far away. They're a couple of seconds up the road as Michael overtakes Nick Heidfeld there on straight line speed alone, and he's now on the back of Jacques Villeneuve, I believe, the former world champion from 1997. As you can see, resuming back onto the onboard action, Michael Schumacher right, just pushing the car to the limit right on the grass there next to turn 3. Now going to turn 3, sorry, and he goes up the side of Jacques Villeneuve there. Nice little dive bomb from Michael Schumacher, and he gets himself back up into P5. And so far, if the race was to finish here, then that would be some very nice points for Michael Schumacher, but he's not done there, as he's now on the back of Takuma Sato, and the car really starting to work now. With the light of fuel with these Bridgestone tyres really rubbing in, Michael's really starting to define the pace and make some inroads. As you see, he overtakes Sato clean around the outside of the final corner there, and he's now up into 4th place, and he's got one more car to overtake before podium position, and there's 1.5 laps to go. As you can see, we're now on the back of Jarno Trulli. Michael Schumacher's going to make a move around the outside, but there's a Jordan there. I think this Kartikainen is going to box Michael Schumacher in, and it's not going to do him any favours whatsoever, as there's contact with Jarno Trulli there, but Trulli gets the better traction, and Michael has to stick behind him for the time being, but Schumacher's going to go to the inside, but Trulli's going to squeeze him right onto the grass, almost into the wall, and Schumacher has to yield on that one there, and some really dirty driving there from Jarno Trulli, similar to what Montoya did a few laps ago where he put him on the grass. And Michael's got a really good run on Trulli once again, but Trulli puts him on the grass once again for the second time in the space like 3 corners. Trulli is really pushing the limits of what is legal here, and the FIA might look into this, but now Michael is once again on the back of Trulli, and this time he manages to make the move stick and slide up the inside of Jarno Trulli for P3, but Michael is now going to the penultimate corner. He's lost the rear end again. Michael's lost the rear end again, and that's the 3rd time this race now, and that has got to be something wrong with the car, because he just completely lost down the brake. And the other way, Marco's continuing on for the final lap of the race. Let's see if we can try and bring the car home, because there's only one more lap to go, like I said. And he's still in P7, so that's not too bad. So there's still 2 more championship points as we go to turn 1. And oh, he's lost around again. He's going to go straight into the wall, and it's going to be a heavy impact. And yes, it is. He's lost his front wing and his rear wing, I believe. And there's Jack Villeneuve also backwards there at turn 1. So a huge crash from Michael Schumacher. A front left puncture there as well. So I think Michael might be out of the race. I think his engine might be struggling as well, and he's also pretty much out of fuel. So I think that might be the end of Michael Schumacher's race. Either way, he's down to 15th out of the points. So the best thing might be for Michael Schumacher to just pull over and call it a day, because that was a very disappointing end to the Grand Prix. And it definitely didn't seem like it was a crash. It was more the rear end just came around on the braking. And looking at the final race results, Michael Schumacher did actually have a brake failure, so that is exactly why he had the issue that he did. So he's obviously had a brake failure, and his rear end came around all those times. And looking at the remaining top 8, which are the ones who get points, Pablo Montoya managed to take the win in the end, with Fisichella doing really well to get back up into second, with Giono Trulli in third, Sato in fourth, Heifeld on fifth, Jenson Button in sixth, Fernando Alonso in seventh, and David Coulthard rounding out the top 8 and getting 1 championship point for himself. But overall, it's been a very disappointing first race for Michael Schumacher, and hopefully he can bounce back next time out in Malaysia. But nevertheless, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed the first episode of Schumacher Returns, and I'm pretty much out of breath. So next time I'm going to try and spread out the just the footage a little bit to try and give me a little bit of a break between commentaries, because that was rather draining. But hopefully you have enjoyed the video, guys, and if you have, then please do leave a like down below. And if you're new on here, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. And you guys, that's about it for this video. So I've been Thomas7HD, and I'll see you in my next one very, very soon. Goodbye.